Welcome back. So what I'll go through with you here is the referral page, the referral box, exactly what to enter and how to go through it. So I'm going to go through the pieces of it really quickly with you in the beginning, and then I'll go through a little live demo of it right afterwards. All right, so starting out, first thing I'm going to mention, when you're collecting referrals, you're always going to do it at the last possible point where it asks you, which is after you press continue, and it's going to display the referral box and the referral page on your screen. Now you're going to do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, it helps you keep track of how many that you're collecting. And then number two, it makes it so you aren't collecting duplicate referrals. A good example here would be you have someone who selects maybe, say, their sister as an emergency contact for an AD&D certificate. And when you get to the ChildSafe app, they also want to sponsor their sister for the ChildSafe app. So what would happen is you'd have the same information for the same person collected twice. It's going to generate two referrals, and it can be a little bit confusing. This way, you're going to have all of that information in one place, and you can just put it in the notes. So starting out, there are some musts that you have to make sure that you take down, all right? So obviously anything with a little asterisk next to it means that you need to enter information there. Okay, so their first name, their last name, so on and so forth. If you don't know a last name, most people just put an X. That's totally fine. Phone number, either home or cell, it doesn't matter where you put it. City, state, so on and so forth. Now, even though referral relationship isn't specifically asterisked, you have to enter something here. I don't know how else to explain it other than you have to. If you're calling, you're going to be calling somebody on behalf of somebody else, you need to know how they know this person. They might be a friend, might be a cousin, might be a coworker, might be a sibling, might be a parent, a grandparent. You're not going to remember. I promise you won't remember. Make sure you put some kind of relationship in here, how they know these people. All right. Second thing is you cannot use spaces. The way that this referral screen works, everything has to be one complete word. You can't use spaces, except in the notes section. You can put all the spaces you want there. All right. Now, when it comes to best times to call, morning, afternoons, evenings, so on and so forth, that isn't really relevant. You can ask that if you like, but it's not really important. You're going to call them at different times of the day anyway. You'll kind of figure that out trial by error. Email is nice, but you don't need an email. The most important things that you're going to need, I'll list for you right now. First name, last name, the relationship, a phone number, a city and state, presumably, right? And why they're being referred. First name, last name, relationship, a phone number, city and state, and why they're being referred. Those are the most important pieces of information to write down. And for any notes that you have, you can put those right in the notes section. Now, I'll give you a little pro tip here. When you get used to using Impact, the notes are going to come up in the comments section in Impact. And that won't make much sense now, but it will later. If you want to list any kind of notes that you want to see readily available, my suggestion, since we're doing this remotely and it's all through Zoom, is any simple notes that you want to list for yourself, you put in the address lines. Address 1 and 2, just list simple notes for yourself. Okay? Now, if I'm going through this live, let's say I'm talking to Mary and I'm doing a ChildSafe referral, I'll say like, okay, Mary, who did you want to sponsor first? And let's say that she selects her sister. I'll say, okay, your sister. Sister's name is Hannah. Perfect. And same last name, Smith. Okay. Is Mary married? She is. What's her husband's name? Joe? Perfect. And her phone number? All right, and she's your sister. And then what city is she in? She's in Boston. Okay, Boston, Mass. Perfect. And then how many kids does she have? 3 kids? Wow, it's a busy family, busy house. All around the same age, or are they a little, they kind of spread out? Oh, they're a little spread out, so 3, 5, 7. Yeah, it can be all kind of weird ages. Boys, girls. All boys, that's going to be tough to handle, right? So as I'm talking, I'm going to be writing some of this down in my referral section, right? Because this is all important information to know. So I know that she's her sister. I know that she's married to Joe. I know that she's got 3 kids, 3, 5, and 7. They're all boys, which means that they're probably, their household is a little hectic at times, right? But what does that also mean? It means that I know that the best time to meet with them would probably be a little bit later, after they're all in bed, right? So these are little things that I'm going to remember and know about. And you can make notes for yourself when you're collecting referrals. Most importantly, when you're finished collecting referrals, always press the submit button, never press the X button. If you press the X button, it's going to delete everything out. When you press submit, it's going to save them. If you ever get some kind of error and it doesn't let you move on, the reason for that is because it's missing information somewhere. So one of those required columns is missing something, or you have a space somewhere that it can't belong. Last thing I'll touch on, I guess we'll rewind back to the beginning, is at the very top where it talks about the referred by section and the organization, so on and so forth. What you want to put in there is be as specific as you can. Were you meeting with Joe and Mary, or are you meeting with Joe and Mary Smith, right? You're not going to remember. Again, I have a friend, Mike. I'm sure plenty of other people do too. I actually might know more than one. So if you say that my friend Mike sponsored me, I'm going to ask which Mike. So you want to make sure that you specify that. As far as the organization is the person that you are sitting with collecting this referral from. If it's a union member, put their specific union. Don't just put union. If you're sitting with someone because it's a child safe online request, put child safe request or CSK request. If you're sitting with someone who's a referral, you can put referral. This gives you a lot more information, so when you're actually going to call your referrals later on, you have some basis of why you were talking to the person that referred them to begin with. All right. Of all things to practice, referral collection might be the most important. So make sure that you practice this. You want to be quick, fast, in a hurry. Remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. See you there.